Building many green energy, forest cities powered by renewables and sustainable productions can recover the planet and reverse climate change. The innovation is uprising every day, a new era in civilization has begun. Climate change is still a big threat. Forests are still being burnt down to clear land for farming. All forests, especially the rainforests, are supposed to be preserved as they are so they could expand, absorb more carbon dioxide, purify water into rivers. The most densely forested regions have been stabilizing the planet, destroying them would only destroy humankind in return. Due to the upsurge in consumption, forest and rainforest cover have been diminishing rapidly. This may be good for the economy, but it isn't good for the planet. The planet's natural resources are very fragile and limited, though people assumed they were endless. Overconsumption has to end to protect the existent forests and halt pollution. Palm oil plantations are as destructive to forests as soy farming and cattle ranching. Forest destruction isn't specific to the Amazon or another forest. Every rainforest and forest around the globe have been burnt down, cut down for wood, or to be replaced with monoculture farming. This has been adding up to climate change and undermining the planet. After some time, the environment will be so unstable that there won't be any way to revert. Forests and rainforests are some of the most significant regions, breathing life into our living sphere. Everyone has to do the things to protect the planet, stop forest destruction and pollution as much as they can. Forested areas can be farmed with forest farming methods without burning down or destroying these biodiverse jewels. Polyculture methods of agriculture are way more sustainable than monoculture. Anything monoculture is extremely destructive for the planet. Every production has to change globally. Every industry has been recklessly consuming finite and fragile resources, giving life to the planet. These resources must be conserved because the planet and all life that exists here need them. Human beings aren't placed on the earth to consume and burn it all until nothing is left. That's why green innovation is crucial to the survival of this planet, humanity, and all species. Extinctions could be hindered if people learn how to change their habits, diets, work ethics, mindset to protect the planet in general. The capitalist economic system has been destructive. A new economic system is required to be devised to secure the future of all species, including humans. Planting trees is one of the best things to do for the environment, but people plant the wrong kind of trees or plant the same kind of tree to replant cut forests. There were reforestation projects to plant millions of trees, then they died out because there was no rainfall and nobody watered them. It's best to plant new trees and forests in a rainforest design, since rainforests are the most resilient and lively regions of the world. In a sense, some existent cities, parts of large deserts, and deforested lands can be rebuilt as new rainforests that are temperate, tropical, or both. Temperate zones will move up north due to climate change. Southern parts of temperate zones will be more tropical and new rainforests as food forests or reforestation can be seeded in warmer areas that receive enough rainfall. A lot of cities are located in these areas as well. Most of the globe is warming up every year, so rainforests can be grown successfully. Reforestation of the globe is still crucial to tackle climate change. Forests, especially rainforests, are like lungs, they sponge in tons of carbon dioxide daily. People don't know how significant rainforests and forests are yet. Instead of destroying and cutting down forests, the human population could plant new ones as production houses in and out of cities. Food and products travel a long way to reach cities. Almost all farming is monoculture. Rainforests could be grown to house a lot of people as eco-villages where there is organic food grown and everything is powered by clean energy with zero emissions. Indigenous people lived in and grew rainforests to feed and house themselves. Industrial civilization has been consuming everything that exists here on Earth, especially the forests. Extreme industrialization is overly destructive for the planet. People have to go back to their roots and live more like the indigenous populations of the past. Carbon emissions were so little compared to this gas-burning industrial civilization. Some nations are testing forest cities to inhabit millions of people to reduce their carbon emissions. Climate change isn't going anywhere. Reaching net zero until 2050 won't reverse global warming by any means. The only way is to completely remodel human civilization and change everything for environmental and forest restoration. There will be more plastics than fish in the oceans around 2050. Plastics have been the most useful commodity for rapid economic growth. They must be replaced by compostable or plant-based alternatives to halt plastic pollution once for all. Bioplastics from waste can decompose in a few months, therefore replacing plastic manufacturing with bioplastics from waste can put an end to plastics pollution. Nature is a circular living system. For that reason all manufacturing and industries could mimic nature's circular design. Creators have bestowed everything in nature for humans to live and evolve for millions of years. Destroying the planet in a century wouldn't be practical for a newly developing civilization in the universe. Many types of alien groups will do whatever it takes to exploit a weakening society opposing each other and ruining their only home world wanted by other alien civilizations. If one of them succeeds, larger empires may approach the Earth and things would get more complicated. Luckily, these are small groups working for the off-space trade. humanity has everything it needs to live and evolve for a long time if it can restore the planet and build an extremely sustainable civilization mimicking nature's life balance. The switch to green energy can be the beginning of this new period in evolution. Change and difficulty can bring more progress for the masses. Living extravagantly isn't good for the planet, it's only good for big corporations that spoil the planet's life-giving resources and organisms. A carbon-negative, plant-based, and minimalist civilization hopefully can protect its planet and enrich the environment for the better. This civilization has to upgrade during these difficult times. Tumultuous periods in history have rendered the greatest revolutions, inventions, and creativity. Consuming more and more mostly reduces these conceptions. The renewability of every nation has to increase every year. This is how nature operates and evolves. Earth's nature is still the oldest entity encompassing the globe. Rainforests have been growing and expanding for thousands of years or more. Eventually, a new species between plants and humans may emerge here on Earth if the Earth's biome can be safeguarded against extinction. A symbiotic relationship abides between every organism and species in nature. Going fully vegan, plant-based, and planting, gardening, growing more of nature is the fact that humans will have to become more symbiotic and rooted with their environment. Extremely industrial and technological alien civilizations have depleted their planet for them to start searching for basic essentials and materials elsewhere in space. This shouldn't happen to human society, inhabiting a splendid and vivacious planet coveted by so many alien species. If the planet is fully protected and its nature is enriched to be more resilient every year, alien invasions can be warded off. Aliens will always observe humankind and its affairs, they will always attempt to deceive and exploit the masses. This planet is one of the most special biological storehouses in the universe. It may be able to re-terraform new planets in the future. That's why all life compounds that exist here are very valuable in the space trade. People never needed any type of alien technology to progress nor save the world. They have everything they need. Green technologies are way better than useless alien technologies. Traveling fast in space is meaningless since there aren't any Earth-like worlds. All the worlds are very barren compared to the Earth. It seems like free energies and Tesla's many inventions that could power and advance civilization globally are classified. Even free energies could be as profitable and sufficient as fossil fuels. They could also assist in reaching net zero goals and carbon negativity. Global action and restoration are needed to be introduced by all nations before climate cataclysms are impossible to prevent. There are many prophecies warning mankind about coming cataclysms, and aliens will never help during these rough times. There are probably a few decades left for all nations to clear their emissions, recover their forests and environment, halt their pollution to pursue sustainable, environmentally safe productions and growth. Otherwise, there will be way more and frequent natural disasters and instability in every place across the globe. Water, food shortages, and basic essentials may wind up extremely scarce in every country. Perhaps, protecting and growing new rainforests would be one of the best ways to tackle climate change and land degradation. People still don't know the significance of rainforests and forests in general. Then, every administration would do whatever it takes to stop the annihilation of all forests. Cities can be the best places to be remodeled as forest cities, since more people live there and more people can make the shift towards environmental friendliness and forest protection. It's easy to power any city with clean energy now. Solar and wind power are adequate to provide the energy for any building. Of course, solar and wind power aren't enough to avert global warming. There are many kinds of plant productions like seaweed, kelp, algae, and so forth that are very efficient in absorbing carbon dioxide and providing nutrients, materials for many industries. Some companies were trying to invent tires embedded with microorganisms to clear air pollution and make tires recyclable. Tires end up in landfills, and they cause escalating pollution. Electric cars reduce pollution significantly, but tires are still a big part of the pollution problem. Tires could be made from recyclable materials derived from waste and plants in order to be recycled endlessly. There are more cars in cities and highways, they still emit a tremendous amount of greenhouse gases. Industrial, populated cities contribute to climate change more than any other place. For that reason, cities have to mimic rainforests where people can live in tune with their ambience. With the rising awareness, cooperation, and R&D, people will be able to transform cities into climate-positive, forested, and eco-friendly biomes. Anything can be done with the proper research and development, also cooperation. Competing over jobs, money, and things isn't productive for any civilization. Unity, cooperation, communication are more necessary than the competition, animosity, and disputes. One person may not achieve much. Millions and billions of people can rebuild civilization better and greener than before. Nanotechnology is under development and it will be revolutionary. There are ways to improve solar panels with nanotechnology and make them peripheral on any surface and outer shell of transportation, housing, and all kinds of devices. Solar nanotechnology can cover any building, window, rooftop, and vehicle to charge batteries throughout the day, similar to photosynthesis conducted in nature. That way, all types of buildings, cities, and technologies people use and live in can be powered by solar nanotech during the day and even at night. It's similar to cellular technologies that are invisible to the eye but still get the work done. Sun is the most abundant energy source, and it stimulates nature every day. You probably need less energy to power all the civilization than nature and farms that produce all the outgrowth. Battery technology will improve, and it may copy plants to store energy chemically. Energy generation can eventually become carbon negative by capturing carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases as a resource. Energy is the most significant aspect of all life. A developing civilization will require more energy for everything. Nanotechnology as a form of clean energy may turn any surface into a power source through solar and probably other ways soon. The moisture, temperature change, sunlight, wind, and many other elements abundant in the atmosphere can be the newest energy source through the use of nanotech. The batteries can last a lot longer when they're redesigned with nanocellular. The entire vehicle and building can generate energy freely via the application of nanocells. Cells make up the human body. They turn chemicals into energy and use them to replicate all the time. Nanotechnology works pretty much the same as cells in the human body. The human body needs a lot of energy in chemical form to endure. Brain and bodily functions drain most of this chemical energy, processed through digestion and circulation systems. Cities, buildings, technologies people use to live conveniently can generate their own energy from the air, their surroundings, and waste. Humans used to find the things they need to survive in their environment. Then the Industrial Revolution came, and every product has been mass manufactured to supply the demand. Now there is nanotechnology in development. It's equivalent to alien technology that's more advanced than anything humans know of. There is no end to nanotechnology. It can evolve and expand to power and reshape civilization as we know it. Batteries aren't good enough, they run out fast, and it takes time to charge them. It takes longer for solar panels to charge the batteries. With the help of nano innovation, everything and every surface can be solar, also a battery that's constantly charging itself. That way, civilization won't emit any more greenhouse gases, and it will emerge as extremely sustainable in a short time. Cities will look like green energy rainforests, richer and more lively than the Amazon tropical rainforest itself. Forests utilize sunlight, water, nutrients in the soil to process chemical energy. People need electricity. It's been produced by burning oil and gas for centuries. Nanotech can supersede energy industries easily. Every organism is made of cells. Cells process chemical energy. Nano is a cellular mechanism producing and converting free energy abundant in the environment into electricity continuously. This may be how alien spaceships are powered, and they can travel very long distances in light speed. Sunlight travels to the Earth with little atoms called photons. They're highly energized and rapid particles. Nanotechnology mimics the light and cellular activity dynamically. It can be the newest breakthrough that civilization is in need of to tackle climate change and other calamities. Everything about an organism can be copied in cellular technology to generate free energy from the environment. In the future, there will be 4D and 5D printing absorbing every element out of thin air to manufacture all kinds of technologies, spaceships, buildings, and products. 3D printing is the beginning of this. Every technology improves with the brainstorming of a lot of people. This type of civilization has been extremely destructive to its home world in every way possible. This has to change before it's too late. Climate change is at its inception. It's one of the most difficult instabilities to rectify. That's why there is a requirement for utmost innovation and reformation globally. Any type of new technology with the capability to oppose climate change and environmental degradation can receive funding and begin its mass manufacturing to be used worldwide. Through the innovative use and development of clean energy nanotechnologies, it will be easier to reach net zero and negative goals to deal with global warming. Cities, industries, and power supplies are actually identical to nature's diverse organisms. In every city, industry looks different, but they're very alike. Thus, any new clean energy technology can be retrofitted into these existent systems people make and use to live. Life is a survival adventure, yet life would be so much easier and sustainable when very efficient energy technologies are implemented worldwide. Some countries will mass manufacture more of them. Nevertheless, green energy tech will be everywhere, just like smartphones. In the future, smartphones, cars, buildings, and all kinds of devices will be able to generate their own energy out of thin air through nano energy. Nano innovation can be one of the most revolutionary inventions, and it has to get better every year. Human eyes cannot see the cellular activity going on around them, yet cellular operations are what make life continue as it is. That's why solar power has to be redesigned molecularly to be more efficient than photosynthesis and current solar panels. Green energy has been receiving the most funding so carbon emissions could be minimized quickly. There is still too much to improve to make energy reach 100% efficiency. Nanotech can be fully operational and alter civilization to be labeled as carbon negative. Cities and industrial zones have been the districts with the highest carbon emissions and pollution. For that reason, these areas have to emerge akin to rainforests as production zones where people can live in harmony with nature. Of course, Clean energy will play the biggest role in converting civilization into its cleanest, most sustainable phase in evolution. The Earth contains more than enough for people to develop tons of green technologies and innovate into the future. There are many alien races all over the world, they've been observing and carrying out their own agendas. They still need resources from the Earth, and they don't want human society to destroy the environment, which is a very rich and unique domain. The next industrial revolution can be plant-based in a polyculture system. The energy revolution can be the nano-improvement of clean energies molecularly. Sunlight is one of the greatest energy sources, it can be captured increasingly to electrify the world in grave danger. Coming cataclysms have to be prevented and everyone has to change all their habits, lifestyles, work ethics, things they're accustomed to. It's up to human beings to change the world for the better, it cannot happen by itself. Although rapid action is needed, it's best to take things slower for greater success and achievements. The greatest inventors took it to step by step, they didn't change the world promptly. Technology can emulate rainforest growth and expansion, the biodiversity is the highest in these regions. There are tons of rainforests that are required to be protected and preserved, otherwise, they won't be able to sequester carbon, stabilize rainfall, climate, and house countless species. A lot of nations have been clearing out forests to replace them with monoculture, which is outrageously detrimental to the planet's ecosphere. Human beings should sustain themselves with environmentally friendly industries and productions reproducing and duplicating more of nature, like new rainforests. Solar panels, wind turbines, charge stations, electric cars, trucks, carbon farming will be everywhere. New clean energies are needed to diversify power production, since solar and wind may not produce enough energy for the globe. From crashed spacecraft that are retrieved, it was observed that they had reactors powered by an unknown element. So a new type of reactor can generate a tremendous amount of energy if unknown elements are discovered and harnessed. Nuclear reactors are still dangerous, there is promise in nuclear fusion. Nanotech may outmatch all kinds of reactors, and it can be omnipresent in everything that people make, manufacture, and construct. Technology isn't sustainable yet either, tons of rare metals are mined to manufacture the most used technology of our time. Mining and manufacturing these technologies destroy nature and emit tons of gases. That's why metal production could be replaced with plant-based, solid materials. There are some plant-based materials as rigid and conductors like metals. Harvest from myriads of plants can supplant any type of metals used in technologies and manufacturing. Nature operates as a global internet, and it's mostly made of plants, fungi, trees, and other organisms. Therefore, humans need to protect and grow more nature around them and in their cities to transform the most vital applications into fully eco-friendly and plant-based. With the development of nanotechnologies, every movement of the human body can produce energy to charge devices people use every day. The human body produces a lot of heat and energy throughout the day, even during sleep. Since nature has been evolving for millions of years, rainforests have loomed as the most biodiverse, productive, and resilient zones of the globe. Some rainforests have been planted by indigenous communities in the ancient past, they've been expanding and growing on their own after. Industrial civilization has been ruining the only planet they can live on. Several alien races have already intervened in human affairs and created millions of hybrids to control and exploit mankind. This cannot go on any further. People have to find ways to recover the planet, secure their freedom and future before they end up in an uninhabitable world or overtaken by alien races. Rainforests play a very critical role in stabilizing the natural, ecological, and climate systems. Alien hybrids are no better than normal human beings, they're only created and integrated into human society for secretive agendas. Industrial cities have been contributing to climate change more than any other place, so these cities and everything that supply them has to duplicate rainforests and sustainable productions of the natural world. Everything has to be modified as extremely sustainable, renewable, and even recyclable to reach the climate goals in a few decades. Achieving climate goals with net zero plans won't be able to halt climate change. The planet will definitely warm up every year and there will be frequent catastrophes and instability. Perhaps, new rainforest cities can be built underground to contain the human population like in large cavern systems with their own habitat, climate, and fauna. Unfortunately, the human population might need to move underground if the surface winds up increasingly toxic and unlivable. Every nation could create many new rainforests in and out of their cities where most of the population abide. Cities will gradually adopt clean energies and more innovative solutions will be introduced hereafter. Some nations are doing whatever it takes to reduce their emissions with natural and technological solutions. Renewable energies and technologies powered by them are the biggest business in this period. Planting trees and cultivating crops in a rainforest setting is still one of the best things to do as a natural solution. You need people to get things done. Though most of the population live in cities, they consume and pollute the most. City populations could be instructed to convert their neighborhoods and towns into rainforests powered only by renewables. Innovation will reveal new solutions to climate change and how to transform cities, supply-demand into their most renewable and climate-steady phase. People who visited rainforests know how wild it is there, yet this is a good thing. Things will get wilder every year. Hopefully soon, it will grow and expand just like forests each year. The power grid can be connected globally, so there won't be any disconnection or outage anywhere. The grid will get upgraded with clean, green energies and technologies here on out. Eventually, nature, cities, and the grid will be completely interconnected to support each other in every way possible. Most advanced civilizations live and progress by protecting and enriching their environment without harming any of its components. Humans are a newly developing civilization, and they could become more advanced if they could accomplish natural and technological symbiosis to clear pollution and reach utmost green growth. Nanotechnology is proof that extreme efficiency can be achieved molecularly. Humans are made of cells, and they're the smartest beings on Earth. Cells constantly replace, renew, and regrow themselves. Nanotechnology will eventually do the same for all technologies and energy devices. The green energy growth and expansion will convert the entire globe into a prolific rainforest tech city where people and all other beings live and play in harmony. Sunlight can be harvested with crystal technology and relate into any building and underground facility. Some alien technologies make use of crystals as an energy source. Sunlight can energize crystals and light can be transmitted anywhere. Electricity and light are similar. Harvesting and converting sunlight into electricity might be executed with crystal-based technologies. Cellular nanotechnology can mimic photosynthesis to generate chemical and electrical energy as well. Sunlight can be mirrored back and forth to light up buildings and subsurface cities. Sunlight could get harvested with nuclear fusion orbs replicated the sun artificially. That way, there will be abundant energy for civilization to grow and progress. An artificial sun generated by nuclear fusion and probably crystal-based tech can be manufactured anywhere in the world, even underground to power self-sufficient, subsurface facilities. These technologies can provide the energy to propel very large spaceships without rocket fuel. Space stations will be pretty much like artificial cities floating in space above the atmosphere. These space cities can be fully self-sufficient if they can produce everything they need to accommodate a lot of people. Technology is improving every day with the dedication and research of so many people. Technology will slowly merge with nature in an interwoven arrangement unlike anything in the past. Everything that people create to sustain their civilization has to benefit nature in return, so calamities and instability will be defunct. All that humans do and make to survive has to change for the betterment of biodiversity and the natural world. Sustainability is always the #1 goal for any society in the universe. Without a great level of sustainable development, everything will collapse over the course of time. It's happening here on Earth now, and its negative effects are all over the globe, not in a particular area. People have been misusing a planet wanted by many alien species for centuries. This cannot go on any further. Every household and human being adds up to greenhouse gas emissions, waste accumulation, resource depletion, and so forth. Thus, every human being should change all of their consumption, habits, customs, mindset to put an end to impairing the planet. Landfills are still growing in every nation, they emit gases as well. The accumulated waste still emits gases to affix amassed greenhouse gases in the atmosphere that ignited climate changes and global warming. Waste could be a resource for many industries. It's basically used materials to reuse, recycle and repurpose again and again. Aliens have been observing human society for centuries and humans are definitely destructive, conflicted, and belligerent. After some time, the next species going extinct will be the masses. Cataclysmic events will be so complicated and burdensome for the whole. The switch to extreme sustainability through green innovation mimicking nature and plants has already commenced, and it will never cease. Nature has been calling human beings to go back to their roots and start planting every species to restore and enrich their environment as well as harvest these renewable materials for all industries. These types of natural solutions can sequester tons of carbon into the soil on all continents. Sand has been used to make glass for a long time. Not all deserts contain the proper sand for glass production. Deserts are being converted into solar and wind farms. This way deserts can be regreened with the new biocity establishments. If every product and packaging is made of plants, they can be completely compostable and safe for the environment. No product or packaging has to wind up in landfills, oceans, or ecosystems, threatening the livelihood of countless species. Innovative products are more expensive at first, they will be able to compete with cheap products made from fossil fuels soon. There will be more vegan, plant-based, waste-free, eco-friendly businesses in urban and suburban areas where most people live. These businesses embrace the most eco-friendly products, and they're environmentally conscious. Of course, greenwashing can be restricted, since a lot of the new products that are labeled eco-friendly aren't at all. Cities have to reach carbon negativity and extreme sustainability by reducing their carbon emissions and pollution each year. That way, cities will eventually grow and expand as new rainforests with greater green growth and renewable productions. This is how a civilization gets more advanced over the course of time. Technology will not advance human civilization after some time, It has to emulate nature, plants, and biological regeneration. Technology can self-heal and regrow itself if it's biologically intelligent and conscious. Organisms are actually biocomputers that self-replicate via DNA coding and multiplication. Humans can create many new technologies to enhance the environment and protect its life balance when they start creating biotechnologies to complete the important tasks for planetary regeneration and revival. Everything is organic in rainforests and nature in general. This is how every element recycles itself through the reproduction of myriads of organisms. Most alien races couldn't stop environmental changes jeopardizing their planet's self-generation. After some time, mineral and natural deposits were depleted. This shouldn't be repeated here on Earth. This is the reason many alien races have come to Earth to carry out their secret agendas to gain access to coveted resources of this living system. The human species have the utmost potential to outmatch these deceptive forces and preserve their home world's sustenance. Many productions and industries are undertaking plant-based design and manufacturing to benefit the environment, minimize their emissions and waste. Therefore, even many technologies can endorse plant-based designs, research, and development to enhance the environment they originated in. Every activity can either benefit the global environment or undermine it, so people should get educated and guided about how to live, work, and think to uphold Mother Nature. Then human beings can emerge as the saviors and gardeners of planet Earth rather than destroying it for industrial and technological expenditures. People consume media and technology increasingly. Media and tech can instruct people on how to do the best things for planetary protection and recovery. There is a lot of information in books, the internet, and other instructional elements for people to learn how to do the best for the planet in their daily lives and share with others. People are awakening, and this is a good thing. There are many good movements online and on social media. So many people want to raise awareness about the most concerning topics. Big corporations might not be able to make the change. People who raise awareness and work on planetary cleanup and rejuvenation can. Fossil fuel companies have been the most profitable in the last century. In the green economic system, clean energy, innovation, green projects, natural and technological solutions to climate change will receive the most funding. Of course, clean energy solely won't be able to halt climate change. Greenhouse gases can be captured and split into main elements to be used in many industries. Rainforest city centers interconnected globally could utilize greenhouse gases as raw material in all productions and sectors of business. With the help of nanotechnology, entire buildings, any object, any surface can generate free energy. Then civilization will leap into the next stage in innovation and progress. Nanotechnologies can be the biggest breakthroughs in technological and energy innovation. Biotech can be the second. However, it's best to keep everything as organic, as natural as possible, not overly technical to support the ecological balance and forest diversity. Any place can be forested with native species. Since rainforests provide the most oxygen out of any other region, many new rainforests can be cultivated in and out of the world's renowned cities and areas. Many new green cities can be built during the implementation of the green energy economy. These places will attract the most capital and creativity to rejuvenate the global forest, tech, and natural ecosystems. The environment is being used up and wasted at an increasing rate. This cannot go on anymore. This led to catastrophic damage to the planet that's been used by many alien races as a depository. Many species are going extinct every year. Forest and environmental destruction have been harming human society as well. Every essential and basic necessity has been diminishing as a result of industrial overuse and devastation. The capitalist economic system has been the worst thing for the environment. Everything that people need to survive is derived from the environment, so destroying and outstripping it isn't practical. Preserving and enriching the ecosystems in every region of the globe can be more beneficial for the human population in return. Human beings tend to be happier, more productive, and creative in a greener, cleaner, forested ambience. A lot of companies are remodeling their office space to be the greenest and most optimistic. Air pollution has been threatening the lives of so many people. After some time, there won't be any place around the globe that's habitable for billions of people. This will incite more conflicts, instability, and scarcities. No nation, even the ones with the most forest cover, is immune to cataclysmic events and shortages. Fossil fuel-based industrial and economic systems have been mostly destructive and polluting for the planet. Clean energy, probably a plant-based economic system, can restore the environment and minimize pollution and emissions. Many alien races have been observing human society for a while. They want to preserve the Earth's rich and unique environment that they've been utilizing for a long time. The Earth contains myriads of plant, animal species that are unique and useful for space trade and many other purposes. Every species contribute to the regeneration of ecosystems, providing vitality for the entire living structures. Destroying forests for monoculture farming has been killing many species. Forest destruction has to be inhibited henceforth. Trees and plants can provide most of the raw materials for all industries, so most of the globe could get reforested for greater harvests, also for carbon sequestration. Carbon emissions and pollution have decreased during lockdowns, then they rose up again. Carbon emissions indicate pollution that intensifies climate change. Global warming may never be halted as of now, that's why a global plan to secure the planet's environment and the human population is indispensable. There are many plant and tree species that can clear out pollution in congested areas with high traffic. Plant-based productions can be more sustainable, renewable, also carbon neutral if they're precisely contemplated and designed. Every city, regardless of its size and population, can become a very diverse, profuse rainforest. Green buildings are popping up in every city, resembling vertical gardens. These buildings can also produce food, reclaim rainwater, generate energy with renewables, cool themselves without air conditioners, provide peace, and rooftop gardens for leisure. AC and refrigeration units drain so much electricity generated by burning fossil fuels. AC units could be repurposed as carbon dioxide capture and storage in every household and building around the globe. Every innovation to tackle climate change has to be distributed globally for effective results. New seeds can be discovered in rainforest regions to be transplanted to many other places for cultivating new farms, orchards, and forest systems. Permaculture has been one of the most efficient methods of homesteading and creating new farmscapes for many people. It mimics rainforest ecosystems to convert arid lands into productive fields with great biodiversity. Nanotechnology can revolutionize the civilization that we know of. Technological advancements won't save the world nor humanity. Technology is just a tool. The green energy revolution is more important than technological expenditures. Nanotechnology can convert pretty much anything into an energy source and storage. Green energy has the power to transform any city into a prolific, regenerative system embracing innovation and sustainability all at once. That way, the human population can exist in harmony with nature and prevent cataclysmic events and changes. Rainforests continuously grow and expand without human interference. Their resources are renewable and they can be collected to build new polyculture systems to grow new rainforest productions in any place of the globe regardless of climate, soil, and zone divergence. Forest destruction to forge monoculture plantations must be prohibited by all nations. The global forest cover has to subsist as it is. Humans should stop misusing and consuming the planet's fragile and finite assets. They could utilize nature's renewable resources to reproduce and build many new green cities and sustainable production houses that can sequester carbon dioxide and assist in tackling climate change. Many water plants like seaweed, kelp, algae, and others can be farmed in oceans and generate tons of food, raw materials, biofuels, medicine, and much more by absorbing and breaking down greenhouse gases out of the atmosphere. Earth comprises vast oceans and ocean-based farming can be one of the most efficient carbon capture, natural solutions. Coastal areas will be submerged after some time. Mangrove plantations can sequester more carbon, also prevent flooding. Water and ocean-based farming of plants can be the greatest harvest and natural solution. Solar power and farming can reinforce each other and support eco-village construction in rural and suburban areas. With the help of renewable energy, building new eco-villages will be easier in rural areas to support communities in need. A lot of people wait for aliens or some higher power to come and rescue humanity. In fact, it's up to human beings to save themselves and their planet, bestowed upon them generously. The Creator has prearranged all motions and patterns to carry on until the end of times. Although there are many groups of aliens here on Earth, it seems like they're only here to take advantage of a weakening, confused civilization misusing its vivacious planet. There is a great need to invent new technologies to capture carbon, greenhouse gases, and split them as useful elements in order to deal with global warming. The surplus of gases in the atmosphere has been warming up the globe increasingly. This cannot go on any further. Climate has to remain seasonally balanced with adequate rainfall. It may be impossible to completely impede carbon emissions in cities, thus new green cities could be built powered only by clean energies, transportation, and businesses. There is enough land to construct anything. A lot of nations are attempting to create green cities, forests, eco-villages, and even green walls in deserted areas. Most of the population lives in large metropolises, and these places emit the most carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases, intensifying climate change. Small and mid-sized cities can reach net zero goals faster than large metropolises. It's probably not sustainable and environmentally safe for millions of people to live in congested, populated cities with a lot of cars and traffic. Cities should have a limit to population. After some time, it gets too problematic to handle the trash, pollution, high prices, and congestion. Some small and mid-sized cities are the best places to live and work. They're more environmentally friendly and green. Every city has to increase its green cover and park space every year. They need to subsidize climate change solutions that are natural or technological. Cities and industries are the focal points of climate change, since they consume most of the resources and emit the most warming gases. There is a possibility that there will be more pandemics and natural disasters from now on. The Earth's stability has broken apart. The only way to stabilize the planet back to its most resilient state is to increase forest cover diversely in every region. If billions of people choose to work for ecological projects and climate solutions, the Earth will become greener and more stable every year. Going vegan and plant-based is one of the best things anyone can do for themselves, for the animals, and the environment. However, food items and every product are still packaged in plastics, which are not environmentally friendly at all. Industrial carbon emissions can be halted if industries embrace natural, organic production systems and solutions. Organic manufacturing supplied by polyculture productions can somehow remove carbon from the atmosphere and be categorized as eco-friendly as a sector. Most of the eco-friendly products aren't suitable for the environment, they're all greenwashing. Greenwashing must be restricted, it's not easy for myriads of products to be labeled eco-friendly easily. Their packaging has to be fully recycled or decompose in less than a year. They need to be cruelty-free, not made by destroying forests. In order to augment the global forest cover to sequester carbon increasingly, every industry and business could invest in reforestation, natural and carbon capture systems, and so on. There are actually so many solutions to climate change and environmental degradation. Businesses, nations, and every household could promote and invest in the resolutions for the real issues concerning the whole population. Wind turbines are getting smaller for every household and business to purchase and use for clean energy generation. There is always wind to propel wind turbines to produce a good amount of energy. Solar panels are getting upgraded to become more efficient and generate energy even at night or in cold months. Thermal solar is the new technology for solar panels to produce energy without needing too much sunlight. Fungi is one of the oldest organisms on this earth. It's a very versatile and fast-growing organism that can be used to make leather, furniture, water filter, foam, and many other materials for many uses. Types of fungi can break down plastics as well. Plastic pollution is getting out of hand, they better be banned completely soon. Yet, types of fungi and some bacteria can eat up plastics in a short time. There are many plant-based solutions to most of the problems of our time. A plant-based civilization can be way more advanced than our current environmentally destructive structure. After some time, there will be nothing left to consume and use, everything will collapse. The switch to extreme sustainability through green energy and plant-based innovation has begun, and it has to be embraced by more people and businesses. People cannot do what they don't know, so the important information has to circulate the globe rapidly for innovative solutions to become a reality. Every type of plant including seaweed, algae, fungi, and others is extremely versatile for multitudes of uses and applications. They can also remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. That's why civilization could switch its industrial systems to plant-based for an upgrade in all sectors. Nuclear power is still safer than oil, gas, and other polluting energy sources. Nuclear fission generates radioactive waste, and it can melt down during accidents and disasters. Nuclear fusion is still in development, and it generates far less waste over the course of time. Nuclear energy is an expensive source of energy, but it works better than its counterparts to reach net zero goals. It can produce so much energy to power entire towns, cities, and manufacturing plants. Since there is a need to build many new green cities, nuclear power can be one of the solutions to oppose climate change. Human civilization couldn't invent a very efficient and clean energy source yet. Hydrogen can be one of the greatest and cleanest energies, but it's difficult to split it from water and other gases. It's the most abundant element that can be utilized as an energy source. Electrolysis is a way to free hydrogen from water and capture it for storage. This is similar to artificial photosynthesis to produce energy from water and sunlight. Sunlight can power electrolysis to extract hydrogen from water. This process is called green hydrogen. That's an exciting technique to produce hydrogen without fossil fuels. Energy as in fossil fuels are outdated and polluting for the planet. All the energy production is changing during the switch to the green future. Humanity is at a threshold to either recover the planet or suffer the consequences. Thus, old ways of living, doing business, and even producing energy have to get rectified. Humans have sowed, harvested, and used resources from nature for thousands of years. Producing heat and energy from fire is the oldest method, and it's what ignited climate change and many other calamities. Instead of plundering, burning, and using it all, people are supposed to plant more, grow more, as well as consume less than before. Most of the population was farmers in the past. Industrial revolutions have forged a consumer, comforted society. This placed a burden on the planet and its natural resources. Nothing is infinite on this planet. Mass extinctions warn that there isn't much left. The large volumes of energy generated by fossil fuels have launched consequent industrial revolutions and inventions. Nobody reckoned about the greenhouse gases accumulating in the atmosphere. There have been many energy sources much cleaner and revolutionary than burning fossil fuels to run machinery and make things. This can be the next industrial revolution, revealing a green future for mankind. The earth used to be greener and more forested a couple of centuries ago. Energy and nature have to support each other in every way rather than consuming each other. Nature effortlessly produces magnitudes of green energy and nutrients for all life forms. The main factor of this is sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide. Therefore, all of these can be harvested and converted into energy with renewable mechanisms. CO2 is a very valuable gas in the global market. It can be removed from the atmosphere and either turned into energy, main elements, raw material, or siphoned underground in storage. There are multitudes of plants and trees that can soak CO2 from the atmosphere and produce abundant yields. The only is to plant more in a rainforest production farm all over the globe to turn CO2 into useful output. Pollution in cities and industrial zones can be cleared quickly when green energy, reforestation, and sustainable improvements are introduced. People could plant, grow, install renewable energy, make products from plant-based materials, drive less and do all the other things that are good for the environment in order to achieve net zero with their effort and dedication. Seeds are easy to obtain from all kinds of fruits, vegetables. Most of the foods that people consume are actually seeds themselves. They can germinate and grow anywhere in the world with soil, water, and sunlight. That's why it shouldn't be too difficult to collect seeds from many rainforests around the globe and grow new ones. Tropical zones are extending due to climate change. Southern parts of temperate zones where most people live are getting warmer and more tropical. Consequently, new rainforests and forest cities can be established in these places to oppose climate change and its negative cities around cities. Rainforests are the most lively and resilient regions unique to Earth. No forests have been detected on other planets yet. We live in an amazing world packed with vegetation and creatures. Perhaps, it's the authentic Garden of Eden and people wait to go to heaven where they could do the things to save, clean up and enrich this beautiful planet here. Green energy has the power, and it will acquire the funding to create many new very green, sustainable, forest cities that will look like rainforests with adequate technologies. Excessive technology isn't proper for advancement. Extreme industrialization, overuse, and waste will only destroy the planet until there is nothing left. That's why industrial consumption and pollution have to be restricted so renewable, clean industries can be invented and take their place. Clean energy technologies are still pretty new, and it will take time for them to attain greater efficiency. A new industrial revolution has begun. It will probably last forever because it's embracing sustainability and environmental friendliness. These two goals will always be the main purposes for any advanced civilizations. Most of the advanced civilizations couldn't protect and preserve their environment. All deposits have depleted, their environment has wound up desolate and infertile. This should never occur here on Earth. Everything that exists here is unique and significant, unlike myriads of barren worlds in the universe. The Earth is a biological and genetic storehouse. Eventually, every species will journey to other stars and breathe life back into these dying or depleted planetary systems. Some star systems contain more than a few habitable worlds, and all of them can be re-terraformed with the help of Earth's biodiversity. With the help of nanotechnology, every wall and surface can be covered in invisible solar panels that generate energy day and night thermally and with solar. Anything can also store energy, as a human body does. The human body is a great technology that people don't research on. Everything that forms life here on Earth is a biological technology, and all of this process can be emulated and mimicked technologically and organically. Artificial trees that can capture carbon dioxide and store it are already invented. These new technologies have to be mass manufactured. There are tons of junk being mass manufactured, but technologies and breakthroughs that can provide clean energy and reshape the world aren't. All the junk productions, like most plastics, have to be banned since junk products are used once or twice and disposed of. In order to convert civilization into a rainforest structure, everything that's produced has to be designed to be reused, repurposed, recycled, or decompose in a few months. This is how nature operated for millions of years. One of the oldest organisms is fungi, and it can grow without photosynthesis as all other plants do. That's why fungi are so revolutionary and can be grown into any form and shape, replace plastics, packaging, building materials like hemp does. A lot of people grow mushrooms at home, and mushroom farming is a growing business. Growing fungi into all kinds of shapes are feasible. Some companies have produced furniture, packaging, paper, building blocks and so much more out of fungi. It's a very rigid material when it's molded and dried. Anything plant-based can benefit the environment and enhance diversity, unlike all other industries. For this reason, plant-based innovation has manifested a global industry able to recover the planet and progress civilization into its next phase. Every civilization has phases, and this is the next stage in evolution. The aliens are already here on Earth. They've been competing with each other to gain access to coveted assets by deceiving, controlling, and exploiting humankind. Sustainable productions and technologies will gradually outmatch alien technologies that we see as lights in the sky. A new age has begun. Nothing will ever be the same again. If greenhouse gases can be captured and split into elements, they can be used as energy and raw materials. Not just carbon capture, greenhouse gases must be captured and removed from the atmosphere to be split and used to make new products. Carbon dioxide is very profitable in the global markets. It has many uses. One of them is the soda business. Greenhouse gases can be raw materials and can be captured to produce new energy. Hydrogen will electrify cars and homes soon. It can be as efficient as solar and wind soon. Green energy will be so powerful and revolutionary that it will better civilization that's been fueled by archaic fossils. Every building can be a green powerhouse when it's retrofitted or installed with the latest green energy technologies. Perhaps, achieving carbon negativity will open the gates for a very advanced civilization that's more sustainable and ecological than alien civilizations that come here or reside afar. The possibilities are endless in a green energy system, increasing the viability and eco-friendliness of every aspect of human society. There is evidence that the Amazon was a man-made food forest planted by indigenous tribes over the course of thousands of years. Possibly, the entire world can be rejuvenated as a global tropical and temperate forest ecosystem including interconnected energy cities with no division, conflict, and misconception. Paper products, wood, and timber cause mass deforestation in large forests. These materials can be replaced with renewable, plant-based wood, paper, and building blocks without harming the environment and forests. Renewable productions will revive existent cities and conceive new ones because every city relies on productions in and around them. Potentially, truck deliveries will be obsolete when spaceships powered by renewable energies and artificial suns transport all the goods rapidly between interconnected eco-cities. Magnets will unravel new technologies, since electric motors are moved by magnets. Eventually, electromagnetic engines embedded with free energy will propel spaceships, flying cars, and all other fast transportation systems. The first thing is to safeguard the global environment, since every region affects the whole natural world. After some time, there won't be any chance to recover and stop cataclysms. If every world citizen can plant at least a garden including trees in their backyard and neighborhoods as well as install solar, wind, and other renewable energies to minimize their environmental impact, eventually the planet can metamorphose as a global rainforest that's low carbon, even carbon negative. Capturing and breaking down greenhouse gases is going to be one of the biggest businesses because every country needs to capture gases and somehow utilize them to reach net zero in a few decades. A global rainforest civilization can be way more sustainable, creative, and harmonious than an industrially consuming type society that started to deplete and destroy its only environment. Every region of the world affects the whole biosphere, encompassing the entire globe. Targeting carbon emissions and greenhouse gases trapped in the atmosphere is critical for net zero goals. A lot of companies and nations knew carbon emissions were detrimental to the climate and air quality. There are many deceptive alien organizations and there will be more in the future to gain control of human society since they've been misusing a planet with a diversity of life and resources. In order to become a very harmonious, self-generative rainforest civilization, everyone has to do their part in regenerating the planetary environment and forests. Adequate technologies will be manufactured and implemented into rainforest production cities. Excessive manufacturing and the use of technology are harmful to the environment that all living beings share. It's better for people to stop idolizing technology and smart devices and work on projects and tasks to enrich and restore the global ecosystems that are crucial to the survival of the human species and others. Plants and trees will always play a very big role in projects, schemes, and proposals to salvage the planet, forests, and barren lands. Some people found a way to track forest destruction with old gadgets placed on top of trees. This is proof that technology and nature can merge as one entity to house people and fulfill all their needs. People consume tech, media, and industrial products increasingly. The only thing to convert this destructive consumption taking away from natural resources that are significant for the planet's permanence is to introduce nature's renewable systems into tech, media, and other industries. Everything depends on people, tech cannot do anything by itself. People work hard to create those technologies and devices every day. That's why it's up to people to combine plants and tech industries globally to create new, interconnected tech forests for people to live as environmentally beneficial as they can. Environmentally renewable and safe product lines will circulate the globe rapidly. This is what people want during the rise of environmental and social awareness. Energy is getting greener and cleaner every year. Every nation is subsidizing carbon negative, climate positive energy technologies after times of crisis. People are realizing they're so connected to the planet in every way possible. The plundering of resources to top up mountains of waste isn't a radical behavior for a civilization. New energy sources are being invented like solar to hydrogen, energy from waste, nuclear fusion, biofuels from oceanic plants, carbon-neutral fuels, translucent solar panels and so much more. This is the path in the right direction. Eco-innovation can be the most revolutionary aspect of a newly developing civilization like humans. Carbon-absorbing, net-zero buildings and complexes are being designed by various architects, and they will be constructed in the world's most renowned cities to exhibit wonder. The next wonders of the world can be the green cities and their glorifying buildings that will be as magnificent as the pyramids in Egypt. Ancient Egypt was an agrarian culture that developed some level of technology. Most of the products were made of plants. Their carbon emissions were definitely so much lower than now. It was one of the most fascinating societies of the past. The buildings were made of renewable materials and some of them endured until now. If every building is made of recyclable, renewable materials, they can be repurposed after they're abandoned easily. It would be cool to copy the cities of ancient Egypt with environmentally safe elements as new green cities that are agrarian with a good level of technology and ecological infrastructure. This civilization has to reclaim and restore the environment worldwide. Many forests are still being burned in lieu to forests could be used for forest farming. Forests are essential for a balanced climate worldwide. Decreasing forest cover is as dangerous as the uprising of greenhouse gas emissions. Forest farming and agroforestry could uphold and augment current forest cover until every city is covered in forest productions permanently. Every industry can be replaced with plant-based alternatives that support forests, rainforests, and a rich biosphere. Switching to completely plant-based will regreen civilization and all sectors of business. New plant-based productions will resemble growing diverse and vivid forests swallowing cities, turning them into carbon-absorbing eco-villages embracing innovative energy and organic, possibly photosynthetic technologies. This type of plant-based and eco-friendly civilization with no greenwashing will re-terraform its home world in a short time and become one of the most advanced in the universe. Green energy and innovation have already launched terraform effect across the world, radiating frequent waves. Humans can only see a small part of the electromagnetic spectrum. There's a lot going on all around us at an energy level. Human eyes cannot detect energy, yet energy is pretty much everything. Biological processes that make up all life is an energy exchange on a molecular layer. There are layers over energy waves in the cosmos. That's why, there are many forms of energy. Energy is abundant in the universe. People have to discover new ways to harvest energy and utilize it for functional applications in society. Clean, renewable energies are in the right direction, but they aren't totally effective for planetary regeneration. Solar energy is the most abundant energy source shining over the globe during the daytime. It's been nourishing nature for millions of years. The sun isn't going anywhere soon. It has the power of most of the energy needs. If not, artificial suns and a moon could be constructed to generate more than enough energy and sunlight day and night. An artificial moon could reflect sunlight at night to parts of the world covered in solar panels for limitless energy generation.